Yes. So the first thing is we need to go for opening the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Here 2014 version just been loaded, so I'm just would say loaded. And the first option should be database engine, and then you have to choose the server name. So the server name by default will be automatically coming. And in case if you're not getting it, what you have to do, you have to go for using would you say browse for more. So through that you can able to get the would you say the right server for your Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. And after that, you can find this. There is an Object Explorer which you'll be getting on left hand side of your screen. So where if you scroll down, you can find there is a what to say database table, and under that you have a system databases. And then once you click on here, you'll be finding one more subtable called master, and under that you can find there is a tables. So here only you have to create a table. So right click on this and go for creating a table. So basically it will be opening a would say empty table where without any would say column and data type will be there. So we have to go for adding the number of columns, and the corresponding would say type also should be get added. So as per your program, if you seen that we need to have certain data that need to be get added. So basically we have to have would you say the list number, and would say name of the student, register number, and along with that we should have the marks detail should be there. So that is what would say it has been expected. So because it basically we are trying to print the result of the students, that is what we are generating out from the table. So first thing is we need to go for a name of the student. So I'm just keeping it would say yes name, and that is going to be a how to say nchar is there, or we can use varchar also. So the type you can use it. So for data type you just need to click on that arrow, so through that you can go for choosing the type. So we have a varchar is there, you can choose it. Variable character, that is called variable character. And the next one we need to have that register number. So then the register number should be of type
Excuse me, sir.
yes.
Sir, is it same as the .NET, sir, in which we are creating a database?
Yes, SQL server only we are using it.
Okay, sir.
I'm using SQL Microsoft SQL server only. So it's same as the .NET only, because .NET also they are using SQL Server only as a backend. It's a native backend for a .NET.
Okay, sir.
Yes. So then we need to have a first subject. So that is like I'm going for mark one to for easy understanding. Instead of going for giving the subject, I'm just giving as what to say mark one, then mark two, then we should have third mark, then mark four, then five. So total five subject marks we are creating it. So this is what the table which need to be created. So now we have to set the table name. So the table name should be here, which is nothing but what to say test. So right click here, save table one. So it will be asking for the name of the table. So where you have to provide that name which you are going to create for the table. So I'm just okay. I'll test is already exists. Okay. So that is a case. I'll go for making it student. So now the table has been saved as a student. Okay, so the table has been created. So you can just click on this table, so you can find so DBO table. And here what you have to do again, right click on that particular student, and here you can go for adding the values. So for adding the values, you can find there is an option called edit top 200 rows. So once you click on this particular 200 rows, which will opening, what do you say, which will be opening a one more window where it will ask you to enter the data. So that means one record to be created. So like that, if you want how many records you want, you can go for creating it. So here I'm just going for what do you say creating the data. So 1001. marks I'm going to create. Okay. So basically, I've created two record. So this number 101 and sorry 1001 and 1002. So these two records are being created. So once you create, you can save it. So once you save, the table has been ready now. So now what you have to do, would you say through our program, we are going to connect to the backend, and then would you say we are trying to retrieve the data from the backend. So that is what we are trying to do on it. So here, wait a minute. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, seven fields. So one, two, three, four, five subjects. Okay. Okay, so what's supposed to be done is after creation of your what do you say table on your SQL Studio, SQL Server Management Studio. The next thing is you have to go for your program. First thing is you need to start with your client program. So client program need to be started first. So right click and open with web browser. So which will be what do you say asking about the risk number of the students. So we have to provide the risk number which has been existing on the table. And once you click on the submit, it will go for connecting to the backend, and then which will be retrieving the data for you. So basically, it is going to provide that name of the student and the register number, and along with that, I would say the data which is pertaining to the marks. So subject which will be coming in the left hand side column, first column, and the second column is going to be a marks. So this is what the output will be getting it. So based on your register number input, so which is going to retrieve the data for you. Is it clear, students?
Yes, sir.
And you can use the back button also, which is basically like moving back to the client, and then you can go for providing the information. That means again you can run it, and then you can supply the data accordingly. It will go for generating the results for you. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Is it clear, students? Is it clear? So first we need to identify the driver, then we have to connect to the backend, then we have to go for creating the statement, then we have to give the query, and the query will generate the results. So that will be stored in result set, and then the result set which will contain many fields, right? So for that reason only we are putting in a while loop, and then we are going for extracting the value one by one, and through that what do you say we go for printing the values which has been extracted from the backend. And the parameter which you are getting from the client, so that parameter has been using request.get parameter, and through that we'll be retrieving the data from the client, and that will be stored here. And for checking onto that backend, so where this is the field which is going to be on the backend, and this str is going to be on the front end. So front end data whichever it is there, whether it is what to say matching to this backend, if it is matching, then I'm going for extracting the entire data from the table. So once it's receive the result, which will be stored in rs object, and through that I'm going for using get object method, and through that one by one I'm going for retrieving the values from the backend. So this is what happening in this particular what to say program. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you scroll down a bit?
Yes. I think people already copied, I think, program for you. So this program is basically nothing that would you say to conduct an online examination. So as per this program, I'll start with the client first so that it will be clear for you. So this is called exam client, so online examination client. So here uh, from the HTML program, what you're going to do is we are going to create a form, and then action you have to connect to the server file, and the method is going to be post. And here one more thing we are going to do is like the field should not be empty. Okay, so supposed to be the user who is going to be the user, like student. So student has to be supposed to be given the name and student register number. If it is not given, then it is going to give an error message. So for that reason only one more thing which you are adding here, which is nothing that would you say on submit, we are going to call the function called validate of this. So this is a parameter which is rating that current. So we are going to validate whether it is going to be correct or not. So for that, this particular function is being going to be used, and it's a JavaScript function, basically a JavaScript function. And here in this, we are going to have that would you say student name we are going to accept. So there is a text box which you are going to create it, and next one is a seat number, that is also a text box. And the next thing is we are going to would you say have a questions. So for the question, would you say question one is going to be JSP a client side language. So there is a radio button. So true or false. Basically, these are 5 questions are based on true or false options. There are only 2 options will be having it, either true or false. You have to choose on it. And like that, there are 5 questions have been would say asked. So we can incorporate applets in web pages, true or false. And similar way, Java was introduced for internet purposes, true or false. And full form of XML is extended markup language, so true or false. And founder of Java is James Gosling, so true or false. So basically what you're doing is we are creating a radio button, and that radio button we are putting in a group, so that at a time you can able to choose only one item, not more than one item. So that is the intention behind this radio button has been created on it. And we have a submit button and clear button. So after choosing the answers, then you have to go for clicking on the submit button, so the data will be passing to the server, right? And then I already told you we should not make that field should not be empty. So basically we need to get the data from the I would say student name and the seat number. So these two data has become essential. So that's why we are going to check that whether it is empty or not. So for that I'm creating a JavaScript function, so where the function name is going to be validate. And if form, so that is basically the form name dot name of that particular I would say field which you are referring on it. And then what is the value of that particular that means the data, basically that what is the data that is going to be entered by the user. So that is the one. Dot length, so that length of that particular would you say text box should not be would you say 0. So if it is equal to 0, then we are going to generate an error message stating that there is an alert window, so stating that name field cannot be empty, so then return false. And similar way we are going to set the seat number also. So seat number field should not be empty, and for that also return false. If both having some values, that is the case, then it is not 0. So ultimately it will come to that else condition, which is return true, which will go back, and then would say go for a next. It is accepting for the next set of data from the user. So this is all about the client side program. Is it clear, students? The client side program. Can I get an answer? Students response.
Yes, sir.
Only one response I'm getting. How about
Yes, sir.
others?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So the next one, we are going for server side JSP program. So in the JSP program, the thing is like we need to accept all those datas. So what are the data is going to be supplied by the user, which is nothing but a name, seat number, then 5 answers. So answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, answer 4, and answer 5. So for that, I'm just locally I'm initializing the variables A1 to A5, basically to what to say know the answer on it. And then there should be a I would say connection and statement and result set. All the three things are become essential. So first thing is we are going for a JDBC ODBC driver, and the second one is we are going for what to say using a connection object, and we are going to get the connection. So for getting the connection, we are going to use the get connection method, and through that we'll be getting the establishing the connection to the backend. And then the next thing is we are going for what to say uh, getting the parameter from the client. So for that request.get parameter action. So action. So that is nothing that the button which is being pressed by the user. So based on that, we are going to check on it, which should not be null. So if it is not equal to null, means something is there. So that is the case. We are going for accepting the name and seat number. And then next one, we are going to get the answer of first group one. So group one is nothing that first radio button, right? So in this, if answer one, which is equals false, if the answer one is being given as a false, that is the case a1 equal to 5, so that means that is the right answer. Else if it is would say true, it has been given as a true, then it is going to be 0. So like that, we are going for checking all each and every answers. So answer 2, that is equal to request dot get parameter of group 2, and then if answer 2 equals true, then 5 marks, otherwise 0 marks. And similar way for the third one also, we are going to check on it, and if it is false, then 5 marks. If it is true, then 0 marks. And next one, if it is going to be true, then it is going to be 5 marks, and if it is going to be false, then it is going to be 0. That means basically the answer we are checking on it. If the answer is correct, we are going to give 5 marks, and if the answer is going to be wrong, then we'll be giving it 0 marks. That is what we are doing. And based on the answers, we are going to total it. So the all these values are being stored into the different variables, right? A1, A2, A3, A4, and 5. These are the 5 answers. So which we are, I would say, putting into total. And then next thing is like once you got the total, so what you're doing is we are creating a statement. And basically what you're trying to do is like once the what to say answer has been given by the user, all these data I'm just trying to upload into a server, that means database server. So for that I'm going to use the what to say statement object and execute update. So execute query is basically nothing that for retrieving the information, but execute update is basically nothing that I'm going to just insert the values into table or creating a table. Those kind of things will be called as updates. So there is an updation which is happening on the table. So that's why we are using the method called execute update. So using this execute update, we can go forward to say updating the information into the backend table. And here, if you seen that we are going to use the what to say uh, command, SQL command, which is nothing that insert. So insert into, then we have to provide the table name. So exam is going to be the table name where which are the values that you're going to insert. So name, seat number, and total. So only these three values should be there in your backend table. And so correspondingly the values need to be stored. So from where we are taking the values, so we are going to take the values from the your could you say client. So the client will be supplying the name and the seat number and the total. All the three things we are going to would you say push it to the table. And after that we are going for closing the connection. And then again we are going for creating a statement where we are going for producing the output. So for producing the output, because already it's been stored, right, already we are inserted. So now we are using a select statement, and through that what to say we are going for extracting the output where we are matching with the name. So if the both the names are equal, so then that is the case we are going for what to say printing the mark sheet. So in the mark sheet basically we are going to print with the name, seat number, and the output also. So where while rs dot next, that is equal to, so get object 1 and 2 and 3. So first one is going to be your name, second one is going to be a what to say list number, and third one is going to be the total. So these are the values will be get printed on it. Students, are you clear?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Nitish.
Sir, what is the program name, sir, of this?
A program name is nothing that what to say write a JSP program to conduct online exam.
Sir, on what list ma'am gave, there is something called email, sir.
A email program is not there. Email program has been removed, okay, from the list.
Okay, sir. So instead of that, this one, sir.
Yeah, this is the one. This is the one you have to use. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Fine. So now I'll show you the demo how it is. What do you say? Working on it. So the first thing is I'm going for creating the what to say the client file, which is basically nothing that your HTML file, which I'm going to create it. So which is exam.html. That is the one I'm going to create it. Fine. So exam.html file is created. So the next one which we need to create, which is nothing that your server side file, which is a JSP file, should be created. So here again, you got to go for a web content, and then you have to create a JSP file, exams.jsp. And one more thing, whenever you're going for using any of the backend programs, so where you need to import that package java.sql.astic, so that package should be there part of your program, so that only it will work. So make sure that you are adding that. Right. So here, so what you have to do, you have to create a backend table which is called, how would you say, exams. Uh, that should be created on it at the backend. So now I'm going for SQL Server. I'm going to create on it. So I'll share you that screen and then I'll show you how to create on it. So again, you can go for tables and right click and create a table, and where we need to have 3 columns, right? So which are those columns? We have to create name, seat and total. So these are 3 columns should be created. So name is going to be varchar, and then next one is the seat number. So that is going to be an integer, and next one is going to be the total. So total also I'll make it integer. Okay, so these 3 things need to be created. So and you have to provide the name, so which is the name of the table, so it's going to be exams. Okay, so now the table has been created. So students, you can just keep a note of it, and so that it will be easier for you. Okay, so these are things supposed to be done by you. And for the server connection, I need a server address. So the server address is going to be this one. Right. So now I have to go for running your client program on the web browser. So you can see this. Are you able to see the output, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basically you have to provide the student name and the seat number, and you have to go for choosing the answers. Okay, it's basically like a true or false. So randomly I'm choosing it and then submit. So are you getting the result?
So it will add all the answers and it will give, or it will only give like 1 marks for
No,
one
it'll
question.
add, it'll add a total and it'll be providing the result.
So for one question, it will be 5 marks.
Yes, one question is 5 marks, and
Okay, sir.
based on that entire answer, it is going to be providing the answer. That means if it is the right answer, that will be get added. So for example, A false is 5 marks, and B true is false, true, false, true, true. Okay,
So total is 25 marks, right?
25 marks. Yes, correct.
Okay, sir.
So basically the answer is going to be false, true, false, true, true, false, true, false, true, true. So you're getting the output as 25.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.